Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to the Blob. So, we are 5 levels in. I've not seen any boss fights, and I looked at the achievements and it seems like for the most part, a lot of the achievements are really around just doing more simplistic things. That being said, the completion rate for just finishing this last level, the Chroma City, is at like 23% of all Steam players. For a kids game, for something that clearly should be a kids game, that's very low. And I certainly could understand it too, in that there's just a ever creeping up level of difficulty in each of these levels. They're getting bigger, they're taking more time, even though the game has a time limit. I ran out of time the last episode, and they're asking for increasing amounts of just smashing the A button, which would have been waggling a Wii mote, I'm sure, on the Wii, which really makes it just a statement around how this PC port of the game is not quite as good as it really should be, in that the Wii controls are not really being ported in an effective way, in a logical way. At the very least, the game could have done us the favor of having us hold the A button down instead of tapping it 100 times. Holding it down for 100 seconds, or even 100 half seconds, would still have been really long. I'm pushing right on the analog stick every time to load in one of these, so it seems to work. Yeah, and the levels really have only a certain level of variety they can have in them. Chroma City is now pure, but the minds of the people are still clouded. We must liberate the radiant artists so they can inspire the populace once more. They were all being held prisoner on Gungantraz Island. We must reach the island and free them all. Okay. We are getting, as we go forward, some small quality of life improvements, in that we have paint bots now that have 30 amounts of paints, and we have wind canyons to shoot us upward, which really isn't too much different from Z jumps, but just less control, really. And so, yeah. Alright, Blob, let's get the Swords Rescue started. We'll use the sewers to get under the controls, but be careful. The Ink to place spike traps. If you land a roll on spikes, you lose paint points. Follow the route to meet with Biff. Okay. I was not quite ready there to start a race. Let's look around this. A lot of these areas are fairly staying disconnected. Now there is one achievement for painting 100% of everything, but looking on the Steam discussions forums, that really seems like it is more of a case that it's 100% of all the buildings, things that would give you 100 points when you very first paint them. But I don't know if buildings include walls. So immediately I failed the challenge just because I wasn't paying attention to bothering to do the challenge. So you really do have to hit. You have to hit the spots. It feels like these Z spots really should have been the ground slam only sections. See, I have no paint in me at all, so I'm not painting anything down this path. This is a different level, a different kind of design, and so I guess I appreciate that. But the entire challenge section really was just built around guiding us to the next challenge. I guess the question to ask is how much of this sewer section really could be painted. Inked cops conflict. You're basically spawning in a conflict by starting the challenges. New challenges available nearby. So it really more feels like a situation where these actions and these challenges should trigger just because you walk near an area. You being spotted by enemies in any other game would not be triggered solely by the fact that you said yes to a challenge. We're getting back to bigger building groups. Found a whole other section here. It's easy to really lose momentum. It's almost like it should be a case where once something gets painted, it becomes transparent, and thus you can just run past it or run through it. It might be a faster way of working with everything. The official ink sensor, where they spend all day sticking barcodes across the drawings. Defend it with 50 blue points. Okay. So we need to find blue. So the game was getting a little frame ratey, and I was seeing streaks showing up. There's one or two factors there. Either I had some settings that are reset in my BIOS, like overclock settings that really shouldn't be set, or my electrical power is not doing particularly well, which would make some sense too. Either internally or just on the grid itself. Let's start this. So, in an effort to try and fix that, I tried to lower the overclock of the RAM on my computer, which is probably not connected at all, but we'll go with it and reset settings. Hopefully that will be that. Looking for green. Okay. This There's a lot of places to get stuck in this. If we're going green, then we need to go blue and go yellow. That reset me as far as the amount of paint I had too. It's interesting, you can see the paint is splattering on the front of the screen. I guess it might be a little bit questionable to see how much a game would be improved using this kind of paint into theory gameplay mechanic. It is such a unique mechanic, it's just not something that every game developer is going to use or program or make part of their engine. There are, I guess, some parallels in your average game that a first-person shooter might have blood splatter and paint surfaces, but a little bit of blood splatter here and there in a game is going to be considerably less than dynamically rechanging or retexturing the entirety of a world. In a lot of ways, I'd assume you would make a completely different instance of the world and load into that different instance if you were going to change the visuals as much as you are here. I guess that might be a long-winded way of saying I question whether this scales. But even if it did scale, I still kind of would question whether you can take this type of game to the next level. Or if it doesn't just fall into repetitive content. Come on. Those are not really working particularly well. The lock-on doesn't seem to lock on. I wonder if different colors make different music. We were getting guitar bits when we were playing Green on the buildings. So I wouldn't be surprised if the game was actually wasting, or arguably, depending on your opinion, wasting a lot of resources doing this dynamic music generation on top of dynamic painting of everything. What is this one? Said yellow. Let's see if this works. Make the monorail stations yellow. No, this game kind of gets a little bit like Marble Madness. in the sense of Marble Madness is also kind of a very awkward to control rolling orb item. You hear that high-pitched whining song, Blob? There's a new enemy on the block. Is it going to be some kind of helicopter? It's the Inky jet bike. These guys will try to run into you. Watch out. Jump away when they try to ram you. Watch out, they drop leech bots behind them. Slamming a jet bike costs 20 points. Yeah, it really just feels like the game is stretching to add more enemies. None of them of which are really working in the same kind of way you're working. They put ink on you sometimes, but a lot of times they're just trying to hurt you, and all you can do is stomp them. Ours would often get in the square and paint the scenes of the city. It's interesting that the bad guys didn't pause for this cutscene. This color was placed back to the way it was in painting the guilds. Purple, red, and blue. Okay. That was a huge jump. Okay. I got 8. Means I have to get washed off. Defeating the enemies, I guess, does give you a bit of points. But like trying to hit the leech bot there without paint doesn't work. I'm having a real hard time finding the blue. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just gonna give up on that. Ink drained all the canals, but we can fix that. Take a wind cannon up the wind pump, transform it with 50 purple points in the canal economy. Yeah, I'm increasingly not interested in doing these quests, particularly if I just can't get the right color. Alright, there's a blue here. Yeah. Ideally, if you're not going to just let the player hold down the A button for this, just take control on the PC version and make it a cutscene. New challenge. We'll give it a try. Another Z jump rush. Of which these don't lock on, so mileage will vary, certainly on your experience there. Okay. I'm gonna start by just painting everything over here purple. And we'll see if we can start this quest again. Okay. So, now all we need is 2 blue. that is that. And then let's get all these leeches going. Okay, now we need red. And we'll look for the way this all is supposed to go. Okay. So the trick there was to get the purple in front and the red in back. Okay. There's a lot of room for nonsense here. A lot of room for running around and trying to find collectibles, but not a lot of time for it. I've got 10 minutes. Guess I can use this. Yeah. One more quest here. Let's see if we've done this. Paint all the billboards. Okay. Okay. Where are the remaining billboards? It did seem like that took me to exactly one place. I have no idea where even that is. Got myself some time. Can't quite make it. And yeah, I think this is where we started, so I don't think there's a great reason to come back to this section. This was not flooded with water before, so that has made the whole level a little bit easier. That guy just crashed into me and it didn't ink me. Interesting. So maybe there's a certain level of paint, if you're big enough, that protects you. Alright, there's a billboard way up there. I guess in general what I'd like to see is whatever you paint something the first time should just be the default color. And it shouldn't open itself up to making changes. I think we're as done here as we can be. Or, you know, at the very least, it does look like there's just a challenge up higher. Like, only paint if there's more variety to the painting. Don't paint if there's less variety to the painting. So only do new colors that are new to the block. Don't do old colors. Yeah. I guess the game probably wants to give the player a lot of freedom. But I don't know if it really is achieving that goal as much as it would seem. And see, in that instance, you basically have to hit the red paint. And I can't make that jump. So I have no idea how you get over there. And then there's a new challenge over there. So you need to be up. Let's do this one. Those jet bikes are taking their orders from the police station, transform it with 50 blue paint points, and make the streets safe again. The radium kind. Okay. Blue. Purple. Boy, do I wish these actions were permanent, though. That each of these was just a district in some big open world, and you had permanent changes, permanent unlocks in your gameplay. Let's see. Would it be worth it to try and jump for that boat? Seems like you'd have to hit that boat at some point. These white dots, or sewer holes, telling you where a challenge is going to be potentially is useless, because it may also be a point where a challenge already was. Already completed the challenge. Good. Probably means we're done with challenges in this area, and it's time to move on. It's a little, I guess interesting might be the wrong word, to point out that you can just roll over the switches Like, it feels like the game really wants you to smash the switches, so why not force it? Inky turret up there. The turret is defending the Grand Central Station, which I assume is a train station. There are more defenses in the streets beyond the station. Collect your way to the next sector. Color your way to the next sector gate. But first you're going to have to deal with that turret, which probably takes 100 color. Turrets fire indicate you from a distance. Keep moving to avoid being hit. Slamming it costs 50 pain points. Okay. Alright, oh, that didn't work. Well. I don't know if every gate has a water section, but I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them do just for that reason. Feels a little rough, to say the least. Let's see if we can start over here. That's a paint tanker, Blob. Inky use paint tankers to transport color. Slam it 3 times to fill color. Power up and destroy those 2 turrets. Like, all I wanted to do is come over here and do this first. Which really didn't paint down. And actually is kind of not doing much to paint a lot of these areas. There you go. This old Grand Central Station section looks like a lot of places where paint things. How much time do I have though? You've got to keep an eye on that to a crazy level. Like, crazy amount. We'll jump over here. These people. Man, the camera doesn't want to cooperate there. Let's see if we can reach heights high enough. That. Well, let's try and color in all these buildings. So we have a starting spot. What this challenge is. This is the Grand Central Station Blob. 2 monorail lines converge here. You can paint both monorail stations green. You can get the trains running. Okay, Z jump. So we need to be green. Blue and yellow. And don't stick to the walls. makes another green. That makes a new challenge. It seems like I've also summoned a monorail. And I must have painted something to unlock another gate. The fact that you can have so many unlocks happen at the same time is a problem. You just aren't getting a consistent flow of rewards and challenges. It's way too much reward for doing very little challenges, and too many people is the key to revolution. Pig Grand Central Station green, roll down the side to make sure you get all the floors. So that was a point where we actually had to use our slide ability. Right, so now we just have infinite color, and we are just swapping between the colors. This is exactly what I said I wanted, is just a way to fast paint things. So if you beat the story mode and then it just gave you the option to turn this on, although it would have to really be an option the whole time, you could see how this would be fairly nice. Unlock yet another thing that is just way too far away from us. Really, the game should just straight up tell you, hey, you unlock something further ahead, or not bother telling you at all, and then instead have you just find that something is unlocked when you get closer. Paint the place purple. Okay. So we need a red if we're going to do that. Here we go. Run all the way around the purple and see if that's good enough. Far too many of the quests are building around this mechanic of painting things. Now the station right now is black, so I don't think I can paint it until I start a quest. We've got 13 minutes. It is feeling more like a challenge now. Actually paint something with all these enemies. Paint this block blue. Okay. Turbo blue. Okay, so we get reset. And then we just move further down the road. And we can catch a few more things. While we're walking down the path. You kind of want to see some concept art and stuff like that. Unlocking also during all this, like, since there is this whole artsiness to it when you're changing posters and things. There we go. Another challenge done before we actually started it. I suspect this challenge isn't going to have us. And at a certain point we may just run out of lives, and I don't know if the game is just going to let you continue. It might just be game over. And yeah, I'm not trying to really 100% everything here, but anywhere where I might be able to hit something, I'm willing to try. Red. Okay, we need red. So they want red here, 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 and red here. And that's buying us more time, so we're kind of doing everything right. Blue. Okay. Paint the monorail blue. If I hit that, I'm just purple. Hit that, I'm purple again. Darn it. Just gotta wait for blue to spawn. Don't get stuck. Ah. If there were 10 more levels in this game, I would question. Like, I would really question whether I could make it all the way to the end. This is just getting increasingly more difficult to control the blob. At a certain level, something called the blob you'd think might intentionally be difficult to control, but I don't think that's the case really for this game. It's just too difficult to paint everything. Look at all these enemies attacking you. Leech bots, in particular, aren't very fair. And they can so easily die. And you may have noticed that every time I reset here, the game points me in a different direction. And so I'm trying to move forward, and yet I'm facing backwards when I spawn in, and then the game turns it around. I think there's too much left in this area. Although we're not really accomplishing anything new either. Like, if I was to just look at the progress here, we have one gate to go. We're over 50% painted, unless I get trees, radians, billboards, styles, challenges. We're about halfway through the game, too. I mean, through the level. So what we want to do is keep an eye out on our multiplier. We're at 243,000. Let's see what happens if we start to make more progress and get at least a couple more of those challenges done. Or where the jetpack fights in the sector. Oh, I already said. You can stop them from transforming. 2 monorails currently under Inky control. Get the trains running again to Gungan Island. See, are we even in Gungan Island right now? Or are we working our way towards it? Are these terraforming sections, by the way, checkpoints? Wouldn't it make some sense if we knew that? How many of these leather-clad biker maniacs are in this part of town? They're all coming from Inky police station. Shut down the 50 yellow points. Streets will be quiet again. I will definitely focus on doing that. Question is, can we get 50 yellow paint points? Need yellow. Yellow and there. Whoops. All my paint points. Hey, well, I guess that puts me in a good position now to defeat this section. Barely in time. New challenges available. Buy some time. And take out this guy. And let's see if there's any other threats. Hey, would I even lose things if I step on spikes? Or am I completely immune? I think I might be completely immune. So, any somewhat dangerous spike section, or spike section, that's the word, done when you have a chance. Really powered up mode. I guess the question though is how often are you going to be in the really powered up mode? Still seems like there's a lot of extra buildings, and I kind of question if this is really just a extra section we're not quite ready to go to, or if it's an extra section we don't even need to engage with yet. Above me, the last two monorails, paint them red. Get the trains going. So I need red. Clear that out. Wait for red to appear. Red. Let's see if this takes me to the right location. Primary level of control I'd like to have is very much missing here. Continue to paint things, taking out our health, our life, grab some paint. It weirdly seems like I'm just missing challenges here. Yeah, it really felt like I needed to unlock some more challenges, otherwise they were all gone. No, don't fall down, whatever. I'm just gonna ignore the fact that I missed some things there. So where are we on progress now? Well, we still really have only done one thing and we're up to 300,000. Billboard attack. There's only one billboard left. See, that would take me to the island. There's just so much here still. So much that hasn't been done. And until I can figure out where the billboard is, all I can really do is wander around. Look for more buildings to paint. Let's just start another quest. Bring back the beautiful canals. We activate the water pump for 50 green pigs. Need to get high to get there. Green is not that. Green would be yellow and blue. That painted the blimp, I believe. Did that count? It's weird, there's quests here that are not being mentioned. Yeah, right now it would be great if it was just a little dancing cutscene playing music. And then, yeah. If anything, this really just highlights how most Wii games, really, I would say, were designed only to work for the Wii. And particularly as the Wii became a very hot seller, and they just don't translate well to any standard controllers. And I feel like we'll probably see a similar situation with Switch games, but not probably as bad, because a lot of game developers also learn their lessons from the Wii and Nintendo, and there was no long tail towards making a Wii game. It sold well in its initial launch period. At best, your game would sell well in the initial launch period. At worst, it wouldn't even sell well then. And then you'd never be able to resell it or make a remaster. And that is at the forefront of the minds of game developers now, certainly. That you're not just going to have a company like the original THQ, which weirdly this game is labeled as THQ Nordic, but that is almost certainly just a new title that they added when they re-released the PC version. Or released the PC version. Certainly there is also an issue with, I have no idea where I'm supposed to be going, word of mouth, certainly, between kids who may have actually tricked kids into thinking this was a kids game originally. There's not going to be a lot of word of mouth or enthusiasm for the Blob amongst kids on a re-release. Now it's going to just be nostalgic people who were kids when it came out. Which, yeah, a significant portion of nostalgic people would also move over to playing other games, more mature games. You really do just need to swap things around like crazy. Switch to another challenge if you get lost, or just switch to another challenge because you don't think you can do the one you're on. In a more complicated game, these would be quests, and you would unlock multiple quests into a quest menu. Although, in all fairness, that's very RPG-ish, and I don't see how a paint the Blob style game would particularly play well. A game like this could have RPG elements, certainly, but if you were straight up trying to Skyrim your way up to playing a game like Skyrim, and you're increasing your paint tanks stats, that would be a lot. There's a couple other quests still to be done. I'm gonna try and get them. Is there really anything over here? No. I need to get on top of this building, which I don't really know how to get to the top of that building. I assume part of it is to go here. The camera is such a problem here. It would be so easy. It would be so easy to figure out where to go if the game would just tell me with the cursor or something. I think I just kind of want to give up. We have 12 minutes, we have plenty of time, but yeah. If I have to struggle to get high enough in multiple places. Where are you supposed to go here? Like up here? Gain height? Then what? Jump back? There's these spots. There's just no good way up. One here, can't reach. This looks like this might be new. Where am I supposed to be going? The exact opposite direction. You just have some basic things in games that are missing here, aren't they? Like pointing the character and the player in the right direction.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna take the train. Just waiting for the train to come to take us to the next area. Feels like you'd have to use the train to reach a lot of higher areas. Interesting, those two literally just crashed into each other. And then one came out one way and the other came out the other. Turn the prison back into an art gallery. Free the artists. Let's go ahead and not start this quest until we can figure out if maybe we can finish the rest of whatever I was supposed to do over here. Which, weirdly, seems like just painting things. It seems like I could just leave the level. I have like 36 more seconds. Interesting. A lot of holes you can fall down. No challenge failed. Let's go and start this. So, the trick here, I guess, is that I needed to hit each of these. It's kind of an annoying beating sound. Basically like a drummer beating on the side of a drum, or the rim of a drum. So we need red now. And I'm not sure how to make paint. But you would like the game to be a little bit more generous around that idea and make sure I have enough red paint. Yes, I do. I question what would happen if I stayed on the monorail further. Would I go in a circle, or would I would something else happen? We've got about 8 minutes. There's another challenge up there. It really does look like that would possibly go in a circle. One more challenge to try. get up there. Might be a little difficult. There is a platform, but paint all the monorail stations if so you can ride the trains on the victory lap around it. Sure. So this gives you a massive amount of time, but it also is going to take a lot of time. We are at the gold step, and I don't know if we're at gold simply because we unlocked the main goals or what. As far as the other multipliers, all we got were landmarks and transforms, and we're at 75% painted where it said 50 before, so there must be multiple rewards for getting it painted more. Do I have enough time to wait, though? I think I probably do. This will let us just look around and see what we missed. There's obviously a billboard to the right we missed. This is really the first time we've had a decent chance to actually see the entirety of a level, which would make sense if this was the default way things went. But you also have to admit this is incredibly slow. I'm barely going to have enough time after this challenge just to leave the level. So any hopes of accomplishing anything else is also getting erased. And if you missed a single one of these elements, one of these flares, then you would be much better off jumping off and running towards the end. And inherently, I guess this only makes sense if doing these challenges do anything for you. Which maybe they do, maybe they don't. Yeah, we have actually, I think, 1 second less to finish the level than we do to potentially finish the victory ride. I didn't even have time to turn around and hit that billboard. I guess that also shows that to get up to that challenge you would have had to have ridden the monorail to reach this color blot. You'd have to reach the monorail. The monorails only go in one direction. To get the blimp, you very possibly have to hit the monorail. You'd think the blimp would have been a one-time thing also, and that there would have been other things. That gives me 60 seconds. Not really enough time to do anything more. There's one tree we missed, there's 3 challenges we've missed, there's 2 styled, and there's 5 billboards, none of which really could happen. Unless there just happens to be a very lucky tree in this area that I haven't touched. I don't think there's really any reward for finishing with 100% paint or finishing on any specific color. Yeah. Now, noticeably, our score didn't really go up much. Like, when we just had 50% of it painted, we were at 200,000. If getting 75% painted gave us 100,000, and then getting each of the landmarks gave us 50,000, maybe, but it doesn't even feel like it actually even works that way, that you're getting any real reward for any of that. So it may be worth experimenting with if I stick with this game a lot longer than I really should, to see if just rushing to the end and doing very little might be the best maneuver. But that is just speedrunning thoughts again. So we unlocked a couple more what seem like single instance challenges. Maybe they're slightly longer, more difficult challenges. And then we've unlocked a new level. I.N.K.T crane fighting. The only one we haven't gotten gold on, I think, is downtown. And because we didn't get gold, we didn't unlock the other item. Okay. So it may very well be a case that I just need to get gold and just need to do each of these challenges. But who knows, these challenges could turn out to be rather difficult. As far as the whole level looks, it still feels like there might be 3, maybe 4. Yeah, it looks like there's probably 4 more levels in the whole game, and there's only been 5, so that would be 9 instead of 10. Which you'd almost assume that 10 levels would be something a publisher like THQ would require its either first party or second party developers to deliver on, as just being an actual number you can put in an actual contract, versus nebulous ideas like a good game. Like, you really can't write a contract to say, we want you to make a good game, but you can write a contract to say, we want you to make 10 levels with what is probably about 100 challenges. And then, yeah. Well, this really is not a game I imagine I should think too much about. It is something that I think is best played in one long burst, if I was to guess, and whatever gets done gets done. The achievements on Steam are still coming fairly quickly, but I can also say that finishing that Gungan Traz Island quest was done by less than 20% of the players. It looks like it might be about 16% of the players on Steam. So, yeah. Seems like increasingly people were dropping off and not making it to the credits, and I totally understand that. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to support me further, there's a link in the description box. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.